Thank you for your trust in box-top Flyscreens. You will need the following tools to assemble your double sliding door: a screw gun or screwdriver, a pencil, an Allen key, a metric bend, and a saw. So first of all, we will open the packaging and check the contents. Make sure to get everything out of the packaging and check that you have an accessory kit, 2 splines, 2 brushes, the mesh, 2 channels, 4 small profiles with groove, 2 small profiles but smooth, so they have no grooves, the fitting instruction, and 4 longer profiles with groove. Check also the content of the accessory kits. Make sure that you have 4 corners with rolls, 4 corners without rolls, 2 handles, caution, the handles are optional, and a small bag with roll plugs, screws, and 4 plastic brackets. And finally check that you have 2 channels, so the smaller one is the bottom channel and the larger one is the top channel. Take now at least 3 reference measurements of the opening in width, one at the bottom, one in the center, and one at the top. Caution, out of the 3 dimensions, note down the smallest one. To know where exactly you have to cut the profiles, you first have to check the yellow sticker on the packaging. We see that the sticker mentions a total width of 200 cm. We've previously measured a total width of 110 cm, which means that we'll have to cut 90 cm in width. Knowing that 90 cm is the total size that you have to cut in width and that there are 2 doors, you will have to cut 45 cm from each door in width. You can then mark the 6 short profiles at 45 cm. Mark the channels at 90 cm, knowing that they use the whole width of the opening. You can now cut the width profiles. Take now at least 3 reference measurements of the opening and height, one on the left side, one in the center, and one on the right side. Caution, out of the 3 dimensions, note down the smallest one. To know where exactly you have to cut the profiles, you first have to check the yellow sticker on the packaging. We see that the sticker mentions a total height of 220 cm. We've previously measured the total height of 215 cm, which means that we'll have to cut 5 cm in height. You can now mark the 4 long profiles at 5 cm. You can now cut the 4 height profiles. We can now start to mount the first panel. First of all, insert the 2 bottom corners in one short profile with groove. The bottom corners have integrated rolls. And you can insert the two remaining corners without roll in the other short profile with groove. In width we still have the transverse profile. Take the 4 transverse profile brackets out of the small remaining plastic bag, and there are 2 brackets for each transverse profile. For each bracket there is one small Allen screw that you will need as well. You can then keep the 2 brackets and their matching screws for the assembly of the second panel. Take now one side profile and check the internal groove on the profile. Insert the bracket in the groove, assuring yourself that the curved side of the bracket matches the curved side of the profile. And we'll repeat the same procedure with the second profile. Now adjust the height of the brackets. We advise a distance of 95 cm between the center of the bracket and the bottom end of the profile. Now fix the brackets thanks to the Allen screws that are provided. Now insert the top side of the frame into the side profiles. The top side is that side without rolls in the corners. You can now insert the transverse profiles into the brackets. And you can finally insert the bottom parts, or the one with rolls, in the side profiles. Now turn the frame with the curved side down and insert the brush into the external groove of each profile. Now display the mesh on the back side of the frame. Caution: before you insert the mesh, make sure that the frame is perfectly squared and maintained squared, with clamps for example. Also make sure that the clamps don't overlap the groove where the mesh will be inserted. Now you can insert the mesh into the groove thanks to the spline and the plastic insert tool. In order to assure the best tension of the mesh, we will proceed as follows. First of all, insert the spline right below the first corner. Insert it into the first profile without tensioning the mesh with your hand. When inserting the spline into the following side of the frame, don't tension the mesh with your hand either, and leave the mesh adjust its position on its own. From the third side, tension the mesh with your hand while inserting the spline, and go on tensioning and inserting the spline with the fourth side. This way you will make sure to get the best mesh tension for your fly screen. You can now cut the exceeding mesh. Make sure not to cut the spline, therefore we recommend you cut right over the spline. The first fly screen panel is now assembled. So you can repeat the same assembly procedure with the second panel. Before you fit the product, first drill the channels, then display them into the reveal to mark where exactly you will have to drill the reveal. Remember, the smaller channel is the floor one and the bigger channel is the top one. Drill the reveal, insert the provided row blocks and then screw the channels to the reveal. Now insert the top side of the first frame into the back rail of the top channel and lay the bottom side of the frame on the back rail of the floor channel. And repeat the same procedure with the second frame, but now with the front rails. Your double sliding door fly screen is now fitted. Always use a wet cloth to clean your box top fly screen. You can also clean the profiles with alcohol to remove strong stains. Thank you for your trust in box top fly screens.